Hi guys, welcome to my, I think it's third podcast. Yeah, my name is Ben, and I have struggled with alcohol addiction for more than 10 years. Around like 2.5 years ago, I managed to finally stop drinking. So now, if by sharing my own experience, I get to help at least one person, then my mission is accomplished. So that's why I'm doing here, and that's why I'm sitting here actually with my best friend. His name is Rok. We actually met when we were both 12 years old. We had the same guitar teacher, and he kind of like grouped us together. And from then on, we started playing guitar together, forming a band. And of course, at age like 15, 16, started partying and drinking together. And we kind of went through the same or very similar alcohol binge drinking route over the last 10 years. So I thought it would be very interesting to kind of share our own experiences today. So yeah, welcome, Rok.
Hi, Ben. Thanks for having me. And yeah, let's just start.
Let's just have some fun. Yeah. It's actually kind of weird for both of us to speak to each other in English, because of course we're so used to speaking in Slovenian, because we're both from Slovenia, of course. But yeah, let's see where
it goes.
Where it goes, yeah. So I think as a first question, it would be just great to kind of hear what was your first experience with alcohol, and then how did this like kind of progress into a more heavy drinking throughout the years, let's say.
Okay, my first encounter with an alcohol was like a New Year's Day when I was like in the 9th grade. And I went out with like my cousins who were like 1 year older than me.
Okay, so how old were you at that time?
Yeah, 14 years old.
Okay.
14, yes, I think 14.
Okay.
And yeah, I was like so excited. Oh, what is this alcohol? What does this do? How do you feel it about when you drink it or something? But yeah, I remember the first drink was like vodka and strawberry juice. Strawberry juice. And after that experience, every time I like smell the strawberry juice, it smells like vodka. You know? It's like, so I cannot drink like strawberry juice for a long time.
Okay.
But yeah, this was like the first encounter, and then like I don't know, at the end of the 9th grade, also when you have like this, when you finish like the 8th grade, we call it Valletta.
Yeah.
And then we had like some wine, but it wasn't in excess, you know. It was like because we were really young and this was like everything new to us.
Yeah.
But then after that, like during the summer, like we like got to a nice level, you know. And when the high school starts, I think we were like already been drinking,
yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so when would you say it was like the start of the period when you started binge drinking? Was that like when we started going out together already, or did you start a bit before that?
I think it was like the summer after the 9th grade, before the high school. There was like experimenting with alcohol. Yeah. But yeah, when we started hanging out together, I think we went like really quickly to, I would say like casual drinkers, but heavy casual drinkers. You know?
Yeah.
It was like during the weekends, but yeah, it was like.
You know, I just remember, I think I was like 15 or 16, and I was like having lunch with my family, and that was just like the day I was like completely hungover. That was like the day after we went out, you know, during summer.
Yes.
And you know, my mom was just offering me like, oh, you want to have like a glass of red wine during dinner, because we were eating some meat, and you know, it's a nice thing to have. And I think I was like 15 or 16. I was like, no, if I drink, I get drunk. I don't just have like one drink. Like, why would I have like one drink, you know? So it was that kind of a mentality from like very early stages.
We never like I never drank like wine for like during the lunch for like the taste of it, you know.
Yeah.
It's always like
Getting drunk.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay, let's say if we could go back in time when we were like 15 or 16, right? Of course, back then, let's say our self-awareness was close to zero. But what would you say was the main reason that you started drinking, but then also that you were continuing to drink? Was it like a social pressure, or was it like because of some of your maybe insecurities or being afraid of something?
But just to start off, it was like purely like euphoric reasons, you know. Like, let's go out and let's get fucked up and just parties. It was like this euphoria, you know.
Yeah.
And I think this was like the feeling that was like the most. This was like let's get fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
Just to like relieve all the stress and everything. Yeah. But I don't even know that I had like stress back there. I was like happy all the time, but yeah, it was like this. Also we did it every week, you know. It was like the tradition, like normal, and also because of like our culture and everything, it's normal, you know, to go out during the weekends and to drink. It's like this. Maybe later it was like when we were like meeting girls and everything, it was like also a little bit of like because of this like anxiety to go approaching girls. Yeah. It was like this for these reasons, but yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because like at least from where we come from in Slovenia, and I'm sure it's the same in like other Balkan countries and a lot of European countries, like when you're like 15 or 16, if you don't drink alcohol at that age, you're actually super weird. Like,
something is wrong with you.
Something is wrong.
What's up with you?
Yeah,
what's wrong? You know,
what's wrong? Yeah. So it's like it's one of these drugs, because alcohol is a drug, even though some people don't want to hear this. Like, if I don't do heroin, you're not gonna tell me like, oh, come on, man, why are you not doing heroin? You should do some fucking heroin. Like, no one will say that, right? Yeah, but like with alcohol, even these days, like when we're like 28, 29, when some people hear that we don't drink, they're like, oh man, why you don't drink? You know, it's like, wow, it's so strange. But yeah, it's I would say similarly for me, like at the beginning, it was this euphoria and just like, oh, that's like the fun part of like being
like
a
I was
teenager.
Like
waiting, yeah.
All the week it was like building up to this moment.
Yeah.
And like there was like we released something inside of us, like the beast that was released from the cage, you know. It was like let's go, wow, like this, you know.
True.
And also like we begin with like the concerts and everything. Yeah. So this was like our beginning when we were going to Makaca. Yeah. These concerts. And they were like quite wild, you know. Yeah, true. Yeah, definitely hardcore metal, very aggressive concerts. So if you put some alcohol in between. But later on we like find out that the only times we can be like sober when we're going out was like going to these concerts.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, when we go out like on a normal party, being sober, then it was like. No, for example, no, but yeah, I think it was like all this circle, you know. During the weekend, during the work days, we were like studying, training, and doing this stuff. We were like having normal life. Yeah, and then everything was building up to this like weekends, and then it was like drinking all weekend, and then it was like at the beginning, okay, good students, let's go, sport. Everything, you know? It was like this cycle, and I think a lot of people are in this cycle, you know. A lot of people, they're like now when they're working or something, is like a lot of stress during the work days, but you're like, okay, let's wait for the weekend, and you like keep saying this to yourself every day, but you're like working your ass off, and you're like in the edge of like exploding or something, and then the weekend comes and like you like, it's like a regulation, you know. You regulate this with alcohol. You like, it's like like a kettle of when there is like hot
Of
water,
like boiling water. Yeah.
and it's like going like this, and then you just like open a little bit, and it goes out. But you're never like you're never solving the problem. You're like solving the symptoms of the problem. But the problem is always like down there lurking in the dark, you know. But you're like you're doing this just to stay alive or something like this, to stay normal. I don't know. So this is like a coping mechanism, I think, for us. But then we find out later. We
didn't know.
We didn't know. But it's like I think it's like coping mechanism for a lot of people, you know.
Yeah. But also, you know, what I hear a lot of time, and I mean, I was definitely one of these people, and sometimes I still am. Don't get me wrong, right? But like, you know, you're like, it's Wednesday or Thursday, and you're in the office, and people are like, "Oh fuck, I can't wait for the weekend. I can't wait for the weekend." But for me, this is like, wow, it's this is not how life is supposed to be. Like, if you're during the whole week, you're just waiting for the weekend to kind of like enjoy life. It's like a waste of life.
Yeah, but sense, it also depends what you do, or your job.
Yeah,
I think it's also because I personally don't feel this when it's like a Friday. Okay, it's a Friday. It's like Saturday, Sunday, and Monday is like, okay, let's go back to work. It's not like, fuck, I have to go to work or something like this. No? I don't feel this, you know. It's like, but it's also because of the work I do, maybe. Because I kind of like it. It's very stressful, but it's like what I like to do. But if you don't like the work, if you don't want to go there, maybe this is also the case, you know.
True. But maybe then you.
But this is the other story,
other story. But also, I would think like it goes hand in hand, right? Because if people wouldn't have the coping mechanisms that we have, like alcohol, drugs, food, or Netflix or whatever, then we would be like, oh shit, I need to do something, maybe change my job, because I'm just like.
You don't have like anything to run away.
You don't have like the escape.
No, you are with yourself, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Yeah, when you go out and you're like tired, there's just nothing to do, you know. And it's similar like this when you like have like stress at work and stress at life, and then you don't have like these coping mechanisms. You're left with that. With yourself.
True.
At the end, you're left with yourself, you know.
And for example, I don't know, on Saturday we went to a party, to surf club, and when we came there we were just like so tired from the whole like days of just like going around the whole city and exploring everything. And then you're like, I'm just here, like we don't have any external solution to fix our tiredness. It's just we need to do something about it. We need to stand up and start maybe approaching people, dancing, whatever.
And we got into the flow.
But it's super hard. It's not easy.
It's easier to drink something and like become euphoric, you know.
Exactly.
This was like,
So okay, good. Actually, because you mentioned before that you do like your job and you do enjoy what you're working. So for anyone that's listening, you work in construction. So I'm very much interested to hear how is your experience working in the construction world, and how is that correlated with alcohol drinking? Because I feel like, myself included, before I knew you, or before you told me the stories, I thought that everyone on the construction was drinking alcohol all the time. So what's the true reason?
I think this is like the public opinion. It's like that there is a lot of alcohol on the construction site and everything. This was true in the past, but not today. For example, there is like no alcohol on the construction sites that I work on. Maybe, I don't know, in other parts of Slovenia when there is like even more alcohol in the culture, you know, for example, like Dolenska, Štajerska, something like this. But on my construction site, there is like no alcohol.
Okay.
and no one drinks because there's also a lot of like Muslims and they don't even drink
At all.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but in the past there was like a lot of alcohol, you know. But
Yeah.
yes, but for like doing some business, if you like, but this is like when you're like on a higher positions,
Yeah.
maybe there still is like, because you're like going to the restaurant and you're like discussing business, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe there is like also today like alcohol, but for example now on the construction side, no. For example, my experience when I was like, sometimes in the past when we go to the coffee to grab a coffee during our work, you know, and we go in the morning. Sometimes we go also in the afternoon at 2 or 3 p.m. And sometimes like I didn't grab a coffee at 2 or 3 p.m. I like drank some wine.
Yeah.
But this was like 2 deci of wine, you know, it's not much.
Yeah.
But I could feel it, you know.
Yeah.
When I come back from it or drinking one small beer, it was like, it wasn't the same, you know,
Yeah.
so I didn't like it much. But otherwise, there is like no alcohol on the construction site, yeah.
Okay. But I assume there are still like, you had some like, I don't know, parties, company parties where there was some alcohol included?
Yes, this is true, because like the older people, like they are still used to the old ways.
Yeah.
So when there's like a party, this is like a popular opinion, but it's true. Like a lot of like civil engineers drink.
Yeah.
So now it's not a problem for me because I'm like, I don't drink for like 2.5 years, so it's like becoming a part of me. It's also part of me, but at the beginning it was quite difficult to say no.
Yeah.
Because they were like pushing you, no?
Yeah.
Drink something. I was, I don't drink. Drink. I don't drink. What's the matter with you? No, I don't drink. And then I have to come up like with excuses. No, I'm like 40 on a 40-day challenge.
Yeah.
And one guy says, yo, you know, you're like fucking yourself up or something like this. That you're like, I said, I don't want to drink. He said, I also had a friend like this. And then after like a while, he said, oh, I was so stupid that I didn't drink. Something like this like, so, but this is like the heavy drinkers are pushing you.
Yeah.
And I think we were also in that category before.
We were.
When like someone like ordered like an alcoholic beer, was like,
You fucking pussy.
what, what the fuck? Well, don't just drink a beer, you know? What is this? It's something like this. But now it's like, I think the people feel like there is like a different energy.
When you say that you don't drink,
I said just don't drink.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, I just need to, I don't drink because blah, blah, blah. I had struggle with alcohol, struggle type. I just didn't have control, blah, blah, blah. You have to like explain everything to everyone, you know?
To everyone, yeah.
But I was drinking a lot, you know? I don't drink now, but I was like a heavy drinker, blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, I don't drink.
Yeah, I had a similar experience because when I decided to stop drinking, I was just 1.5 months in a new job. So all of my work colleagues were like brand new, let's say. So they didn't know me how I was drinking in the past. So I remember when I stopped, I first told them that I'm on a 30-day no alcohol free challenge, that I made a bet with my best friend. Then after 30 days, I was like, oh, it's 60 days. And then after 60 days, I was like 90 days. And then when I reached 90 days, I started telling the truth. I was like, yeah, by the way.
But it was difficult for you to like socialize without alcohol at the beginning?
At the beginning,
like form bonds with people or...
So the thing is that when I stopped drinking, it was just in the middle of COVID. So in Milano, where I was living at the time, it was very much restricted when it comes to COVID. And also before that, like 2 months before I stopped, our socializing was like going out to dinners and these aperitivos. So it's like you have like maybe 3-4 drinks, not too much. So me then going socializing sober was quite easy besides the fact that I had to kind of lie about the reason why I don't drink.
Yeah, but why did you lie?
Because I felt, so I said to myself so many times that I will do something. Either I will stop drinking or I will implement a new habit. And then I started self-sabotaging. So even though this time I was really like, fuck, I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna have alcohol anymore. I was like, I don't want to be that stupid guy that says I will never ever drink, and then like in 1 month I start drinking again. So I was actually afraid of myself a bit. Yeah, I don't know if you had a similar experience, but I was also a bit afraid of myself, but also afraid of exposing myself that I had like problems with alcohol.
Yeah, because when I finished like drinking, I didn't like set for myself this will be like for the lifetime. I was always like, for now. But I was like always like looking for these like shortcuts or something, like, okay, if there will be like a time that will pass, you know?
Yeah.
I can then maybe drink one beer if I like it. I was still like in that mentality. Maybe I didn't say it will, I'm done forever. But I was like, for now, just to like cool down the things, just to see how it is without alcohol. And then after a while, I could like probably grab like a beer or something and be like this casual, normal drinker with limits. But after a while, I come to the realization that this is like a bullshit, you know?
It's a bullshit, yeah. But you know, I remember because we were all talking, so you and I, and then also Pero, another friend who stopped drinking like 1 year before us.
Yes.
Because I remember when I started telling the truth, so after these 90 days, I told him, I had problems and I will not drink. And then I was 26 at that time. So then people started asking me, oh, but like you will never ever drink? And even though at that time in my mind I was like, yeah, fuck no, I will never ever drink. I said to them, right now, no, but maybe like when I'm 40 or 50, when I'm like more mature than right now, I will start drinking again. And then it kind of became this reality of mine that I was really starting to believe that maybe when I'm 40 or 50, I will actually start drinking again. Why not? And then one day I was just like, fuck it. I'm gonna get a tattoo on my ear with the date of when I stopped drinking. And I was like, this is how I will make sure I will never touch alcohol, because I would be such a fucking retard to then start drinking again.
And I remember when we were like on the phone talking, you were like, I will do a tattoo of like my date when I stopped drinking. And I was like this, fuck.
That's it. Yeah.
Fuck. So like, yeah, you did this kind of thing like for both of us. Also like this when we stopped, like, no, because I didn't intend to stop back then. No, I didn't intend to stop.
Yeah,
but it was like you said like one day to me, I will stop, and I was like, no. This is not the agreement.
Yeah.
We said we would like find a way to control it, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, okay, but tell me more a bit about this. So, you mentioned now that you stopped drinking just a bit after me, right? But what was going on just like few months before that decision?
Yeah, a few months before, it was like the summer.
Yeah.
When we were like drinking really hard.
Yeah, I remember.
It was like, because you came home, it was COVID.
Yeah.
And it was COVID, you came home, it was like, you had like 90 days of like purely every day, all the checks done, everything like, everything in order, life. Yeah. Because you were like in the prison, of kind of imprisonment, like because you're not allowed to go out. Yeah. I was like making a joke of that, but it's okay. That's where you like befriended Pero even more. You become really good friends back then, because he was like the only guy you can spend time with, you know.
Plus he was also not drinking.
And he was also not drinking, and you like connected really good. No?
Yeah.
Because you were also not drinking at that time. no?
Yeah.
Because you were at home, you know.
Yeah.
And then the summer came. And yeah, I remember at the beginning you were so like strict with everything, with who you hang out, with all the influences you get, like everything. It was like everything was so optimized, you know, for like the best life.
Yeah.
And then we started to hang out back again because the COVID was a little bit looser back then.
Yeah.
And there was like the summer, like the summer of like 2020.
Yeah.
It was.
We drank almost every day for 2 months. Almost every day.
It was like, yeah, we were like on a partying and
Yeah.
drinking spree. It was like a lot of parties and everything.
Yeah.
Can you remember like one party when we were like or something? The summer, there's a lot of vitamin check when we were like,
Yeah.
a lot of this.
It was a lot of like, because I feel like there were not a lot of like really huge parties
No,
because the
huge.
COVID was still there.
Yeah.
But it was like just hanging out in bars and like with just like large groups of people, friends. But always until like
Yeah.
5, 6 a.m.,
Yeah,
7
it
a.m.
was-
It was not like,
Very good. And then, yeah, this was like the summer. We were like drinking a lot.
yeah,
And then the September came
yeah,
and you got a job at Milano.
yeah.
And okay, before that, I remember like the last party when we were like at your house.
Oh, yeah.
And
You mean us and another friend?
yeah,
Yeah,
and we were like quite fucked up, you know.
yeah,
And I can remember at the morning, you were like so stressed up.
the second morning, right?
Yeah, the second
day,
morning. Yeah, you were like, "What have I done? What have I done?" I was like, "What?" Like,
Yeah.
oh, I was drunk again. I was like, okay, what's the problem? You know, what have I done? Oh, you were so like stressed out. It was like, Ben, what's happening? And you're like, no, this is the end or something like
Yeah.
the end. It was like the end of the days, you know, for you. And I was like, what's the matter, no? And you said like, no, I said I like promised to my friend Pera that I will like stop drinking or just I don't know control it in some way because during that summer when you were like hanging out with me you were like I don't know you said that you will go to train with him on Saturday at 8 p.m. And at 7 a.m. we were like still drinking outside and you were like ditching him off for the like last minutes you know and he was like fed up with this and he was like okay I cannot connect with you anymore. And if you will not stop this behavior, I will like not be your friend anymore. No?
Yeah.
And this really upset you. This I remember. And then you went to Milano, and it was like, okay, I'm done. Not done with alcohol, but I'm done with like heavy drinking. And you said like, now I will like find people who don't drink, and I will just get like one drink. When we will go out for drinking, I will drink one drink, like aperitivo. I just said,
Exactly. Yeah.
and you were like, and we were like talking to each other like every day. I was like, this is like still we were like talking to like girls do, you know, every day. Oh, Mama, what's happening? What's happening with you? And we were like calling every day.
Yeah.
Yes. And I remember you. Oh, I now understand it. I got this under control.
Yeah.
It's so easy, you know. I just drink one aperitivo and it's enough for me.
Yeah.
It's enough. I have it totally under control, you know. And this 1 month passed by, and you were like, I have everything under control, you know. And then I was like, but I remember that you were like. You were the one who was like talking about that you have like an alcohol problem or something like this, but we didn't discuss this much, you know.
No,
but I didn't. For myself, I didn't never say that I have like like problem with alcohol in such a way that like I'm an alcoholic or something. I was like casual heavy drinker. We was like during the weekends, but I never like said to myself, oh, I have a problem. Maybe a problem with controlling alcohol, but not that I drink too much. Because it's like normal, you know.
Yeah.
And so I was like, then the summer ended, no? And I was like, okay, fuck, this never ends. You know?
Yeah.
It was like, because then you, during the summer, okay, you're like free, you don't train, you just only work, and then like you are free to go to the beach and everything. But when like the October came, I was like, okay, I need to put my life in order a little bit.
Yeah.
I started training more, starting working on myself more and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And then I see that like there's no place like for this weekend drinking.
Yeah.
Because I was like, all the work I did during the work days was like collapsed. I was like living two life.
Yeah.
I was like a double agent, you know.
Yeah.
During the work days, I was like hustling, doing everything, like having 5 a.m. pop, meditation, like this, all the morning rituals. Then work all day, come home, train, like mad, you know. Then play guitar, everything like ordinary, read a book, everything, you know. And then the Friday comes, I was like, free spirit. Let's go. Or the weekend, and then Monday back.
And then Monday,
Okay, I'm back at it, like 5 a.m. Blah blah blah. And I was like, no, it's too tiring, you know.
It's tiring.
Yeah. And I know I need to do something, you know. I need to do something. So one day comes to my mind, I will go to like 40 days without alcohol now. 40 days.
Okay, so you did like a 40-day free challenge.
Yeah, I did like this was like the first time in my life. So something was happening, you know, because there was a need to do this, you know. I need to like stop, and I know there is no other way, you know. So I did like a 40-day challenge without drinking, and I started this challenge. At the beginning it was so weird, because I had like a concert. It was so weird. After the concert it was like really weird, you know. But after the time you get kind of used to it, and then it comes back to your story, and then it was 20 or 30 days when I was like doing this challenge. Yeah. And at that time we were talking about this alcohol problem, and I recommend you a book. Yeah. You know, I recommend Alan Carr, Easy Way to Control Drinking. Yeah. Alcohol, and you said, no man, I don't have problems. I found a way like to have it totally under control. Yeah. I know alcohol now. I have it under control. You were like so sure of yourself. Yeah. And I was like, okay, good, you know. And after 3 days, we were like on the phone. I was like, and you were like, oh, man, give me that book. Yeah. I was like, what happened, you know? We went out, and I was like waiting for my friends at the bar, and then I saw a poster, and there was like beer for 9% beer for like the same price as the beer of 5%. Yeah. And like the old band kicks in, and it's like, fuck, of course I will take that one, you know? Yeah. And you drink, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these beers, and you were like quite hammered, you know.
But you know how this night started actually? So I was just on a date with one girl the night before, and we just had a bit of like prosecco at my place. So like just half a bottle. So half a bottle was still left in my fridge. So the next day I came from work, and I knew that in 1 hour I'm meeting my friends for aperitivo. And I was like, oh, but there's like half a bottle of Prosecco in my fridge. So then I already drink the half a bottle.
You never told me this.
Yeah. So then I come to the place, and then like you said, I see the poster, and while I'm waiting, because they were all late, of course, living in Italy. Oh, everyone is late. And I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to have a beer. So by the time they come, I have already one large beer of 9% and half a bottle of Prosecco. And after 3 beers more, you know, shots of Jaeger.
Oh,
so it was, So, and then, so I basically started reading this book.
Yeah, you started reading this book, and after 1 week, we were like, you said to me, but the thing was like, I give you the book, How to Control Drinking.
How to Control Drinking.
This Alan Carr is like a genius, you know?
Yeah. By the way, how did you find out about this book?
Because there was like a book, best known book. It was like about cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I wanted to like recommend this book to my father about the cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I also read this book, and I see it's like
It's working.
fantastic. It's working.
Yeah.
It's truly the easy way, you know.
Yeah.
And
So the easy way to stop smoking.
to
was the
start
title.
smoking. This was like the original book, and then he like did every series like for alcohol, I think for coffee also, bad sugar, good sugar.
Yeah.
And the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
You know? But the concept is the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's like what's like in this book. Let's say this magic book. It's like he just shows you the different paradigm.
Yeah.
And all the things, all the how do you say, like everything, all the whys you have, like for drinking or for smoking. He says that he like tells you that's bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
So all the reasons you have for smoking and drinking, all the reasons he says like they're bullshit, and he shows you how they're bullshit. He tells you like, and it's like the paradigm shift.
Yeah.
You like look at this situation from a different paradigm. It's like,
Yeah. It's not like he just tells you that.
don't do it.
Yeah,
it's
don't
bad,
do it,
blah,
or
blah,
it's
blah.
bad, or it's bullshit. But he tells you it's bullshit because da 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 da.
And just like,
And if you're like, I'm like, man, it's so logical.
Yeah.
Why was I
What?
drinking, right?
Yeah, and while you read this book, you have to drink and you have to smoke.
Yeah.
This is like really good.
Good.
You have to do it, you know. It's
Yeah.
like, okay. And then you started reading, but there were like two versions of the book.
Yeah.
Two versions of the same book. The first version was how to quit drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
And the second version was the same, but the title was how to control drinking.
Of course. So that was more attractive.
More
for us.
attractive, you know, because who wants to stop drinking, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I remember that you started reading this book and you said to me, I will stop drinking. I was like, no, I didn't give you this book. Stop drinking. I give you the book for control drinking, you know? And I was a little bit afraid, you know? And you said, read the book and you will understand, you know?
Yeah.
But I know it's not only the book, it's like all the like experience that lead up to this moment. But I was like, fuck. And I was like, this was like on the 30 day or 32 or 33 day when I was like sober, and you said to me, like, start reading this book. I was like, no. No.
Too early.
No. You know, I haven't drank it for like 30 days. I can't just start to read this book. But and then it was like, what was the date?
For me, 21st of October 2020, yeah.
21st, yes. And you stopped, huh?
Yeah.
It was like, the last chapter is like the last drink.
The last sip, yeah.
What was the last drink?
So I intentionally went to the store. I remember it was like a Carrefour close to the central station of Milano. And I intentionally bought a small bottle of really, really shitty vodka. Intentionally a shitty vodka. Yes. And I just poured it in a glass straight up with no anything.
Did you have like a ritual or something like?
No, it's just that. And then I had like kind of like a big sip, not the whole bottle, a big sip, because I didn't want to get drunk. Because if I would drink that whole thing, I would get probably drunk. Because I was afraid if I would do something stupid. Yeah. So I had that, and then immediately I've sent you a voice message to Pero, to my family, so my two parents and my sister, and then to Mario, another friend.
Yes.
I've sent to all of you the message that, and I send you the picture. I still have the picture on my phone of the last drink, and I was like, this is officially my last drink in my life. And I had to share this with all of you, the closest people in my life, because of accountability. Because I was still very much afraid of myself.
Yeah, because you didn't even know if this works or if this doesn't work, you know. It's like, and that was it, nah?
Yeah. So how was your reaction to this?
I was like, not so happy at the beginning. not so happy. I was like a little bit shocked. If I'm sure, it's like I never like intended this to go this way.
Yeah.
I was like,
You gave me the book.
I gave you the book, but this is like, what the fuck is that? And I remember when you were like, say, no, I'm reading the book about quitting. And I was like, no, I didn't give you this book. I was giving you the book about controlling. And then I like open up the chapter and it's like, oh fuck, it's the same. Fucking Alan Carr.
Yeah.
And
but wait, I think, but when I stopped drinking, you already finished the 40-day challenge and you started drinking again?
I think it was like, maybe when you stopped, maybe I was like at the end, yes. Yeah, I was at the end. I think it was like finishing up this challenge.
Uh-huh.
I think it was like, because I started it at the, I think it was like, I don't know the date, but at the second part of September.
Okay.
When, like the summer ended, you know?
Yeah.
Before, it was like right before our first concert when we have it like
with the band.
With the band.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. And
so after 40 days, you then started drinking.
And I saw like after 40 days, okay, one fun fact. It was like when I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
After 7 days, I've moved out from my parents' house. Like after 7 days, I find the apartment and I started living there.
Yeah. So by the way, for everyone that doesn't know the background, it's like, I think for months you were saying, oh, I need to move out from my parents' place. I need to move out.
Before I was like living in Ljubljana for like 6 years on my own.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I went back home for like 1 year.
Yeah.
And I was like, all year, I was like talking, I need to like live on my own. I will rent the apartment.
Yeah.
And the mother was like, you know,
yeah,
it was like arguing. And then I was like, after 7 days, I was like, everything booked.
Yeah.
Everything was like in order, and I moved to a new apartment.
Yeah.
And the challenge, I finished the challenge. It was like, I don't know, on 40 or 39 day, I don't know, but this was like the challenge completed.
Yeah.
And then I started drinking, you know.
Yeah.
And it was like, I saw the difference, you know.
Yeah.
I because 40 days is like enough period that you can like see the changes, and you go to the parties.
Yeah.
And you like see the sleep cycle is getting better, you're more focused at work and everything, you know. And then after this, I was like, started drinking for like 14 days.
Yeah.
And I think it was like also during the work days, well, I grab a drink with my friends. It was never like one drink.
Yeah.
When we say, let's go to a beer, for me it was like 6 beers.
Yeah.
But, you know, also if my friends like take 1 beer, 2 beer, I was like 6.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly, yeah.
So, and I saw the difference, you know.
Yeah.
I was like more tired. I wasn't focused at work. I was like hangover. I was like, before I had weekends, this was like a new thing to me. Oh, there is like a Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Before that was like the drinking party, hangover, like movies at home. You know?
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, there's like time to do something.
Yeah.
Something like
productive
to read a book, to play guitar, to go somewhere, you know. It's like, wow, new things came up, you know. And then I saw, and after like, and I started reading this book, of course. I think I started reading the book before I finished the 40 challenge. I was like, okay, let's see what is inside.
Yeah.
Because I know, I can remember you say it like you say it calmly like this. I will stop drinking, and I was like, look, read the book, and you will see. It was like this calmly. Just don't ask me too much. Just like read the book, and you will see.
Yeah.
Whatever all the fears you have, you will understand.
Yeah.
Something like this. And I was like, okay. And I started reading the book, and after these 14 days, the idea of stop drinking, it was like so it was like, wow, this is like a new territory. It was like this could be, because we are always on the extremes, you know. We always go to the extremes, and this was like one extreme. It was like, how many problems in life would be solved, you know, how many things, how much productive could I be? And it was like this fueling me up. So I decided to do it, yes.
Yeah.
And I remember like last drink, I was like in my apartment in Koper, and I was like reading.
What was it? Which drink?
Šljiva.
Šljiva.
This is like
a Slovenian drink.
Yeah.
How many percent? Like 40%? Yeah. But it doesn't have any like sweet taste, right? It's also like
it's like really, really hard.
It's heavy, it's
heavy.
Yeah.
I think I still have the bottle, you know.
Oh yeah.
I think I still have the bottle. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I just like pour like one shot. And it was like a ritual. Just I think I read this book on my screen with the computer. And I was like, the computer, last drink. It was the Sunday, and I was like, okay, I cannot do it anymore. Let's finish it Sunday. And it was like, finished, and I was like, okay.
Done.
And it's funny because, okay, now I'm sober, and you're like, yeah, but yesterday I like drank, you know.
Yeah.
And it takes time, you know.
It takes time. Yeah. It's building new identity, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I was with that identity for a long time.
Yeah.
When I was so proud of like being this crazy
guy.
Yeah, we were like always being like labeled as crazy, you know.
Yeah,
we went out like two crazy fucks, you know.
I mean, it's interesting because like I think this is also why we became best friends at such an early age, because we both were physically we were way smaller than the rest of the people, so we were like late bloomers, you could say.
Yeah.
So maybe also initially we were kind of shy, so the alcohol gave us these superpowers of being this crazy, energetic, talkative guys, and then this persona just built up on itself, right? And we definitely took pride in it.
Yeah, because everywhere we go, we were like
the extreme people.
The extreme people.
Yeah.
The most crazy ones.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's like rave or like hardcore.
Any kind of party.
Any kind of party. We're like party animals. You know?
Yeah.
We were all like there. Whoa, first to start and last to finish. You know?
Yeah.
It was like always.
Yeah.
Going.
Always. But it's funny what you mentioned before, because you said that after you did the 40-day challenge, you saw the difference when you started drinking again between how does your life look like when you don't drink versus when you do drink. And I think this helped me as well, because before when you were describing that period during COVID when I was not drinking, I said to myself, and initially it was not planned to go to 90 days, but in the end I finished like 90 days of...
But it was like unintentional?
Yeah.
Kind of unintentional.
Kind of unintentional. It started with 30 days, and then it was 60 days, and then it was 90 days. But my true reason was because I just lost my job because of COVID. So it was until I find a new job, I will not have a sip of alcohol. So then I think I received an email from Dyson that, oh, you finally got accepted, you got a job. I think it was day E03, something like that. And then I remember in 1 week, Mario, our great friend, he had this party at his house, like a barbecue party. And I was like, okay, fuck it.
I remember the party, yes.
I was like, fuck it, let me drink again at this party. And I remember this party, my dad is driving me. And my dad, I was like, look, come pick me up in 3 hours. I will just have 2 to 3 beers.
Yeah, it was like at 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, pick me up at 6.
Yeah.
Just to be sure, you're like,
I got this.
You got this.
And then at like I think it was like 3. So I come there at 3 p.m. At like 4:30 p.m. 1 hour and a half later, I was already texting my dad. No need to pick me up. I will come back home with a taxi. And my dad, he just sent me, I knew it, smiley face, you know, but in a nice way, of course. And then, of course, I came home like at 5 a.m. or something.
But this was really good party, yes.
Yeah, it was a good party, of course. Party, yes. But then, you know, and then what you said, the whole summer we were drinking all the time. So I had this, 90 days being completely alcohol-free, completely sober, and then 2 months of
It's nice if
super
you have
heavy
like
drinking.
this.
Both side of the
Both sides. You
yeah.
see like this side, this
the
side.
contrast.
The contrast, yes.
Yeah. So that was very, very interesting. But so something that you mentioned before, you said that you never really realized that you have a problem. But did you have any like realization where you were like, man, I might have a problem with alcohol, or you never thought about this?
Yeah, it's like I know I had like a problem with like control
Yeah.
when it comes to alcohol, because there were like no limits, and I was like for 10 years I was like looking for like this golden limit, like, you know, when there would be like the best amount of alcohol, but it usually was always like we always go past it, you know. It was like funny because we had like a period when like we before we went out we like meet up at like 9 p.m. At one of our parks, for example in Porto Rose.
Yeah.
And we had like already prepared like bottles of wine. We call it bomba.
Yeah, it's in English the bomb.
The bomb, yes, the
Yeah.
bomb. It was like half, no? And
Yeah.
we drink like white wine and Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. No one did that.
No one
actually,
did this. It was like we begin with like 2 bombs, you
Yeah.
know, like half and 1.5 liter of wine
Yeah. But did
Each.
we drink each, right?
each. This was like the beginning each.
Yeah.
Because we were like calculating this amount units, you know. Okay, the beer has like 5 units, the wine has like this units, and we were like making. I was like making the equations, how much and everything, like the math, you know. Okay, and then we come up. I think it was like 1 liter of wine, or like 6 beers, or like I don't know. It was 0.375 deciliters of whiskey, something like this. It was like this was like the amount. But the problem was that we drank this before we went out,
Yeah.
and then we went out and we were like drinking.
Drinking more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, this was like, but when you were like, you asked me like when I like realized that I have like a problem or
Yeah.
something. It was like the people around me, when the people around me was like telling me, you know,
Yeah.
man, you were like out of control yesterday, or like you did some stupid shit, you know. I had like a name, you know,
A nickname.
like a nickname when I was like drunk, you know.
The demon.
The demon, yes. Demonchek, right? It's,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
demon.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like I just wasn't there, you know. And
Yeah.
some dark aspect of me like came up, and like I was like aggressive. I was never in the fights, you know. I was never fighting, but I was like
Yeah.
aggressive and talking shit and like being so annoying and angry with such an angry face, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, people didn't like it. You know?
yeah. Yeah,
People didn't like it, so I need to like apologize after, né?
yeah.
And there was like a lot of apologizing for the things that I didn't even done, you know. It was like my demon.
Yeah, you
It
don't
was
even
like-
remember.
I don't even remember. It was like you were saying me to this. I was like, sorry, but
It was not me.
Yeah, where did it come from? I know it's not an excuse, but I was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
joking out of it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's not me, it's not my demon, you know. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was not good, you know, because there was always like problems, you know.
Yeah.
There was like, I didn't even know if I will go out, what will happen,
Yeah.
if we will like, where we will like finish up, if I will like come home, if I like, it was so, and also for my mom, it was so stressful because,
Yeah.
but for everyone, you know, because we were like doing some stupid shit, and the worst part is like, I don't know, if there were like new people that didn't knew me,
No, yeah.
and the first encounter of me was like when I was really, really drunk. They were like,
This guy's an asshole.
This guy's like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You know, he's like fucked up.
Yeah.
And
it's not the best way to have the first
and
impression.
this is what I didn't like, because all the people that were like saying bad stuff about me,
Yeah.
it was usually when I
That.
met with when I was like drunk.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's like Jim Morrison from The Doors.
Yeah.
He said that drinking, going out and drinking is like rolling the dice, you know, like it's like you're gambling, because you don't know what's gonna happen. You either win or lose. It can turn out really good.
I actually felt like there was like a gamble, because when
It's
we
always
go
a gamble.
out, I didn't know if
No.
I will like behave good,
Yeah.
or behave bad.
Yeah.
There was like some social occasions where I like meeting up with new people. There was like more classy or something.
Yeah.
There was like,
You didn't know if you would come home at 2 a.m. and sleep like a baby, or if you would end up in a different city, have problems with police, do something super stupid, illegal, whatever.
I like slept on the bus
Yeah.
for like all morning, and like
Sleeping on the bus, yeah.
Yeah,
The
this is
moving
like-
bus.
funny. But but like this was like that. I didn't know. I cannot like. I didn't trust me.
You didn't trust yourself.
I didn't trust myself.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you don't trust yourself, also
Other
the people.
people.
don't trust
Yeah.
yourself. And yeah, this was like the biggest problem, no?
Yeah.
Because like offending other people when you're out and like doing stupid shit,
Yeah.
and they're not even enjoying it, you know?
Yeah.
You're not
true.
even enjoying it, because half of the time, or more than half of the time, I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
For example, it was like, I can remember now, it was like a university party.
Yeah.
And I went out. There were like everybody, you know, from my university. And we started drinking at the Congress Square.
Yeah. The main square in
The main
Ljubljana.
square in Ljubljana, yes.
Slovenia.
And everything was going well. And then I wake up. And I had like few flashes, few pictures.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Oh, cool. It was okay. Everything was okay. And I remember I was just like patting myself on the shoulder.
Good boy.
Yeah, everything was okay, you know. And like when I came to the university, it was like a walk of shame, you know. Like I came there and everybody was like staring at me.
No.
Some was like laughing, some were like doing these faces,
Like disgusted.
like disgusted. And I was like, I knew it. Okay, what the fuck have I done? And I was like, people coming to me, you know, my colleagues, some were like, ha ha ha, blah, blah, blah. Some were like, no, like angry at me. I was like, chill down.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened, you know? And yeah, I found out like we were like drinking in like this pavilion or how it's called,
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
small place, and there was like a lot of people there before we went even out, you know, and I was like wasted already there, and I was like, you know, my famous walk,
Yeah.
famous, and I was like
Pushing people.
and talking stuff, and if somebody was like, I had like this very aggressive, people like afraid of me, and
Yeah, you had a very intimidating look on your face, and you're quite a big guy, and you were always like very well built. So I think you had a bit of luck that you didn't get in a lot of like violent situation where people would kick your ass, because I think they were just afraid of you.
and
They were afraid of you.
This was like also you had some luck
Yeah.
from this.
For sure. But it's, you know, I think it's also because we were, and we still are, of course, but we were best friends at that time, and we both had this demon inside of us. Because also for me, for example, when I was working for Pub Crawl, you know, I had a couple of friends, and every time I would do something that the next day I would have to apologize. So there was a period where and we were partying almost every night. The next morning, I would just send a text message. I would be like, by the way, sorry if I did anything wrong yesterday.
Yeah,
before I didn't even know. Yeah,
in advance, you know?
In advance, yeah. I just apologize in advance. Because again, like similar like you said, like 95% of the night you don't remember.
Yeah.
But just maybe because you had that experience and I had that experience, it was like, oh, this is normal.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. Like we don't have a problem.
Yeah.
This is how like everyone who goes out is like.
Yeah, it's normal, you know.
It's normal.
You go out, you get fucked up, and
then you don't remember anything, and you do some stupid shit.
But it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. Good party.
Okay. Good party. Yeah.
How it was yesterday? Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I remember also one time with Pero, we were like after the party on the parking lot. You know, it was like early morning, and I was like, fuck, man, again, I don't remember anything. And he was like, what? I remember everything. It was an amazing party, man. Yeah, I remember everything. And then after 2 minutes, he's like, oh shit, I don't remember at all.
Yeah.
He was trying to recall like a picture.
It was like after this day, we were like grabbing a coffee or someone. What was going on yesterday?
Yeah.
Like, what were you doing yesterday?
Yeah.
You know, it was
But actually, a lot of my friends from Dolenska, you had also a lot of friends back then, they had like a ritual that every time after the party, they would meet at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m., of course, with a glass of wine, because this is the best hangover cure. And they would just discuss...
Putting the puzzles together.
Yeah. So he remembers that, he remembers that, so... Yeah.
Oh, this one, yes.
Basically, yeah.
But there was a lot of parties. For example, okay, we were like talking about My Demon, but yours wasn't so aggressive. But if we like Offspring, concert of Offsprings... What the fuck was that, man?
Crazy.
Can you like just describe a little bit? Because I think it's quite interesting.
Yeah. So we went to the concert of The Offsprings, like a great punk rock band.
It was
in Italy, right? Yeah. And
but who was with us? Me,
so
you?
It was us, Mario, and then one girl, like a friend of Mario, was driving us. She was driving, So already on the way there, we were of course drinking a lot. And already on the way there, I was a bit like maybe verbally abusive, let's say. But when we arrived to the concert, you know, we entered inside, and I don't know, I was just like being kind of playful, but in a very dickish way, you know. I remember everyone that had like a hat, I was stealing their hats and putting on my hat and just like walking around. And then when people were complaining, I was like, no, but I'm with this guy. I was showing it you, and you were like this, you know,
with
like
this,
with this
face
and I was like,
up, you know?
yeah, I was like, he will kick your ass if you do something, you know.
Yeah, it was also the summer. We were like,
we were like exposed. The muscles were exposed, let's say. I mean, I was not.
But you were like,
big,
you were like all over the place. You were like, like I don't know, like a child, you know.
Yeah.
I can remember I was like more chill.
Yeah,
like,
you were more chill.
I was like more chill, dancing there or like listening to the music. I didn't hear any song, but okay. And then I remember like there was like you were like stealing the hats and everything. You were like all over the place. And at one moment, I just look up. And I saw you were like climbing this.
So
what was this like?
It was like a stage, and then I think like I don't know 20 meters after the stage, in the middle of the crowd,
like a tower.
It's like a big tower for like I think the
light
lights,
show, yes.
The lights, and also I think maybe some sound system or whatever, right? Like a speaker. So I don't know. It was maybe third song in, like the concert just started barely, and I don't know. Like, don't ask me why. I was like, oh, let me climb up.
And
I want to climb up.
I just saw you climbing up there. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I go up, and I look down, and there's like security guards
everywhere.
It's like, come down. And then like after a while, I come down, and of course they just picked me up.
Kicked you up.
And they kicked me out of
But
the
you came
concert.
back
No. So after 3 songs, I'm gone out of the concert.
Okay.
And I was basically just waiting.
Listening to the concert outside.
No. But then I found one guy. He was like a street performer, and he was playing guitar on this small speaker. So I just was hanging out and drinking with this guy the whole like 1 hour and a half while you were at the concert. So that's what I did for 1 hour and a half.
But the take of the concert was like the same.
Oh yeah. For you, right?
For you and also for you.
Yeah. Like you were at the concert, but you don't remember.
Yeah.
So actually, I remember because on the way back, Mario, the next day, he told us that the friend who was driving us, she said to him the next day that she will never take us two to the concert because we were so annoying. So, I mean, I can't really blame her. Yeah, we're back. We actually just took a piss, which made me remember one funny story. I mean, I'm slightly embarrassed actually to share that, but that was actually just before the COVID, the last concert. You know, we were going to the Liam Gallagher concert in Vienna. And actually, we're going to see Liam Gallagher in July in Milano, but this time sober. So on the way there, we were driving with the bus. We went with like some agency, Yeah,
this was like a 5-6 hour drive.
5-6 hour drive, yeah. So of course, we started off from Ljubljana at 9 a.m., I think.
Yes.
And of course, 9 a.m. we started, I think with beers, but we had like beers, like some whiskey probably. So 3 hours in,
we had like CCS.
We had
Canadian,
Canadian. So 3 hours in, I think we were already like completely fucked up on the bus, and of course we had to stop so many times because we had to take a piss. And then at a certain point, I was so drunk that I was like, oh fuck it, let me just take a piss in this cup, right? So in the middle of the bus, I'm taking a piss in the cup, and then when I have it here, I'm just like, oh, let me try my piss. So,
I remember this. Yes.
I actually tried my piss, and I was like, whoa, it's not that bad. It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, I remember this. It was like, fuck.
So that was really bad. But then I remember, I don't know if you remember this, because I think at that stage I was the most drunk. But then by the time we come to Vienna, because the concert was in Vienna, in Austria, you might have been slightly at the peak. So I remember just while we were like...
we went out of the bus like you animals out of the cage.
Yeah, and you know what happened just before we stood up, and we were kind of like pushing each other. And I think you gave me a slap on the face, and then I gave you a slap on my face, and then you walk out of the bus, and you had like an empty bottle of whiskey, and you just like throw it. The first thing you do, you like throw it in the middle of the city, and it almost, I don't know if it hit a cab, like a taxi, taxi car, or it almost hit a taxi car. And then the guy who was like the taxi driver, he was like, motherfuckers, da. And we just started running, and because like the guy was like wanted to basically to chase us, And then I remember, we went to a Starbucks. It was like 4 p.m. in the middle of the day, and we got kicked out of the Starbucks.
Yeah, because we were like too loud.
Too loud. Yes. Just like...
Yeah, because there were like people like on the computer.
Yeah, working,
basically. They're like, we are loud.
Very loud, yeah.
Also, if we are like not drunk, we are also loud. But then we are like... And then we went like to the concert. And I remember like also the child...
The child came back.
The child came back. You were like so... I don't know. It's like a euphoric phase. But we have like so much energy, and we are like so... you know, the feeling like you're like a child. We need to do something, you know? We need to like do something. We cannot just be there and like listen to the music like normal people. It's like we need to do something, you know?
We need to do something.
And I remember I like put you here. You know?
On your shoulders.
I put you on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And you're
I was like flipping up.
Flipping up to the Liam Gallagher.
Yeah.
And he saw you, you know.
He saw me,
And he was like, Liam fucking Gallagher, you know, he tell like security
guards
to like kick you out. And we were like, then we are lost in the crowd, and I think they didn't get us. But it was like all the concert, it was like hiding and what.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But so what he said was like, because we were very close to the stage, right? I think like third or fourth row. And before that, we were already kind of, you know, mosh pitting.
Yeah.
And I was like, of course, without my shirt and everything. And I was maybe a bit too aggressive for a Liam Gallagher concert. Maybe like at the
because we were like we were nasty, like the hardcore.
Almost like that,
like the most hardcore, like beat down hardcore band, like, and we were like,
Yeah, we were very aggressive, And then, also flipping off. He basically told me to...
he was not happy, no?
He was not happy, but I mean, who would have been, right? But it's I was actually, the next day I was a bit let's say disappointed in myself, because I was like, man, this is my favorite singer. Like Liam Gallagher is my favorite singer of all time almost, and he wanted to kick me out of his concert because of my drunken behavior.
Okay, and why? Why you think? Not why did he want to kick you out, but why did you flip him off? For example, what came in your mind? You know, but why? You know, it's like
I don't know. So I think his style of singing, even though some of the songs are not very aggressive, but his style of singing is like very aggressive. So with me, always when I was drinking and listening to him and Oasis, I had this like fucking, and he was always like kind of this like bad boy persona, aggressive guy as well, angry guy. So I always became a bit angry when I listened to his music, but in a good
selfish,
way.
Selfish,
kind of like egoistical.
Ego on the highest point. You know?
It's like, I'm the fucking shit, you know.
Yeah, I'm the best.
And I was just like singing his songs and like, flicking me
Get out of the stage. I'm the boss here, you know, like this.
Basically, so.
So this is like few examples of like our kind of parties with alcohol. It's like we went to the concert to Italy, didn't hear one song. We went to Liam Gallagher, didn't hear one song. But afterwards, how it was? Oh, awesome!
Great,
man.
It was great.
It was like already used up sentence now. How it was yesterday? Oh, it was really good.
It was really good, Also, when my parents asked me, so how was the party yesterday? I was totally hungover. I was like, it was amazing. I was thinking like,
you know what I remember
everything.
now?
What?
Now I remember that I was like doing like audio recording when I went out.
Oh yeah.
There was like a period. When I was like recording all the night out, so that I could like remember anything.
Yeah, I remember.
It was like, but I didn't listen to those recordings the next day. But I know I like record the audio, and I remember when there was like a carnival or something.
Yeah.
We were like now in the like Rojna dormitory.
Yeah.
And then we went like out, and I remember I had like a recording when we were like with, I don't know, a few people there.
Yeah.
And like speaking to them.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck are we talking about? So it was like, if we like sum it up, it was like we went out, but like the best part of going out was like we call it the warm up party. When we like me and you, because this was like the group, we went out like it was me and you. It was enough
for a lot of time.
For a lot of time, it was like me and you. And we like usually go out at like 9 p.m. And we had like this was like really the best part.
Yeah,
this was like the part I like am grateful for the most, because we were like 2-3 hours by ourselves with like a speaker.
Yeah.
And we were like singing everything and listening to the music and like drinking.
Plus bonding and talking about everything.
And talking about all the songs, all the genres, everything. It was like, and after that point, blank.
Yeah. Also, that's the thing. We only remember the pre-party, not the party.
And remember one of the best pre-parties was like at my apartment, me, you, and Mario.
Oh yeah. Before
One
we
of the
went
best.
to Metelkova for a drum and bass
This was
party.
like one of the best.
True.
One of the best.
Pre-parties.
Was like E03 Vendetta or something like this.
We're
With like moshing in the.
Yeah, it was really good. Well, also, that was again me a bit more, before Malevolence, another great hardcore band, was in Kino Šiška in Ljubljana. And before that, we were drinking vodka at your place. But that got a bit dark, I think, because, there was like a few kids outside and I was telling them to fuck off. And
I was like, fuck, man. Yeah, this was like,
but there were a couple of times when either I was saying, fuck rock, like you can't do that, or you were saying, fuck band, you can't do that. This when you're like really crossed the line, when we said to each other, come on, man, like what the fuck?
Like, it was like, okay,
this is too
inappropriate.
much.
Yeah, this is
too
inappropriate.
much.
But also Mario had like this demon. I remember we were like coming from the concert and everything. All the trash cans were like
he was always smashing
on the way.
Yeah.
They were on the way, on
Yeah.
our way. I remember.
But thank God, I had this like violent period of like doing really violent things only when I was maybe like 17, 18. There was like, that period of going to this trip to Greece, etc.
Yes.
That was like my kind of period when we were like
I think
a lot of damage.
Our good coping mechanism for this aggression and everything was like this concert.
Yeah.
Because it was like a healthy way of pushing away this like aggression inside us,
Yeah.
And
true.
Yeah.
By the way, so if someone is listening and he or she wants to stop drinking alcohol, but their biggest fear is basically how to socialize sober, how to still go out, still hang out, still have a normal social life, still go out to parties, still go out to networking events. What would be your main recommendation how they can really enjoy these social events?
First of all, you have to work on yourself. This is like the base. You have to have like your life in order.
Yeah.
The sleep, the food, the everything, because you are by yourself now. There is no like outer things to like will come and save you.
Yeah.
So if you have like some anxiety with people and everything, you have to like build up your social skills and everything.
Yeah.
And then it's really, really important when you go out that you are like with people that you like.
Yeah.
This is like the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because there is like, otherwise before you can go out with anybody and you can like drink, and if you have nothing to do, you like smoke cigarettes or something, just like being like being in a corner by yourself and like smoking and drinking. It was like, okay, cool, you're doing something,
Yeah.
But now there is like no salvation, outer salvation. It's like you have to like connect with people.
Yeah.
This is like the biggest. You have to like connect with people. You have to, because you cannot be like alone there. You always need to talk to someone,
Yeah.
But if you look at it this way, it's like good social skills. It's important. If you like don't have like social skills, it's a little bit harder maybe, because if you have a lot of anxiety, but it's also a good way to like progress,
Yeah.
because you're going towards your fears and everything. You are going. You have to first go through the dark to come to the light. It's like, but I think it's at the beginning for me. If I talk from my experiences, I was like going out hard because I didn't want anyone that will tell you, "Aha, now that you don't drink, you don't go out." I was like the fucking opposite. I went out and I was like till 8 a.m.
Yeah, sober. I remember that. Yeah.
I was like sober till 8 p.m. a.m. I was like, I didn't give up. I was like always like the last man standing.
Yeah.
When there was like a party finished, the last 2, 3, okay, it's finished.
Yeah.
And this was like for the long time. But and also I went out with people just to go out and everything. But after like period of time, I just come to realization that okay, let's just I go out with like people that I want to go out.
Yeah.
That there is like a good social flow, and for as much time as I need to like see everything, like to say, you know, like to if there's like there is like a party, I said like, there is like a certain time when you like experience everything.
Yeah.
And after a certain time, there is only like drinking and getting fucked up even more. There's like a point, you know, you come to the party, you socialize, you see everything, you like dancing, blah, 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 and everything. And then after a certain point, it's like, okay, go home or get fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's okay. It's okay not to be the last one standing.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay. It's okay to go out and leave at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, but it took me a long time to just realize these things. Yeah. But as I say, if I want to like give an answer to the question, it's like work on yourself. This is like the biggest one because you solve a lot of problems with this, and it's hard. But just socialize. You know, start talking with people. Because also with like this social flow, it's like kind of a drug.
Yeah, it is.
You like, if you're like quiet there, it's like lame, blah blah blah. And the difference is also if you like, if you're like sober because you don't, you like, you choose not to drink.
Yeah.
Or if you are sober because you like,
you shouldn't drink.
You shouldn't drink.
Yeah.
It's different because if you go out and you're like, oh, I need to drive today, I will be like sober, or I have like this thing tomorrow, I will not drink. It's different because you like put yourself in a like a vibe. Okay, it will be like boring.
Yeah.
But if you like choose not to drink, you are ready the first second you come to a party.
Yeah.
You don't, because okay, let's go dancing. There is like no excuse. I need to drink.
Yeah.
It's like let's go
I'm
dancing.
not drunk enough. Yeah.
It's like I don't have excuses.
You don't have any solution. You have to go. Yeah.
For example, with my playing guitar, no.
Yeah.
When I come to the party and I bring my guitar, I was like, people were like, start playing. I was like, oh man, chill.
Yeah.
I need to drink something first, but not so much to like to feel more comfortable, but just like to drink a little bit, to
get in the mood, maybe.
Get in the mood, yes. But usually it was like I grabbed my guitar when I was like too drunk.
Yeah,
I was like this one.
Yeah.
You know? It was like okay, but now it's like I come to a party, as soon as I grab a guitar, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm in. You know, you are in, and then you see that like all the things that you say. Oh, it was really fun yesterday. We were like, why? We were dancing. Okay, it was dancing. It was not like
not
the alcohol.
drinking,
We were like meeting new people. It was meeting new people.
Yeah.
But if you only like sit around the table and just drink, you know, it's all the other stuff that are making stuff fun and interesting, you know?
Sure. I agree. And I think a lot of people, I mean, don't get me wrong. When you stop drinking alcohol, I do agree that you will naturally start attracting more people into your life that either drink very little alcohol or almost don't drink at all. I can see that a lot in my life with both friends and let's say females. But it's still not to say that you will not hang out with people that drink because, for example, my two really good friends here in Dubai, they both drink alcohol and we hang out all the time and we go out to the parties and they drink and I don't. And I'm normally the only guy in our group and basically maybe even at the whole party that doesn't drink alcohol.
And
but
do you have like any, like, do you miss alcohol or something? Do you have like any inclinations to drink?
No, not at all. And actually we were just discussing this yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's like you said yesterday, like I feel like alcohol doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
It's mind blowing, you know.
It's mind blowing that it's not in the in our focus anymore. It's
And
like
we-
you don't see it.
It's like you said, it's like that it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I cannot even see it. It doesn't even cross my mind,
Yeah,
that this is like the possibility.
yeah,
And this is like really, really, really interesting,
yeah,
because if you like stop drinking, if someone is like decided to stop drinking, and he's like, oh, but I will need to like use this willpower every time that there is like a party and everything, but it's not true. You're using your willpower
yeah,
when you're actually want to control it. Will say, today I'll drink 3 beers,
yeah,
or I can also only drink 1 beer. Then you're like using this willpower and
Yeah.
everything. But when you're like done with alcohol, it doesn't even exist.
yeah,
And after a time, you are so like used to this that you like don't even see it. It's like,
Yeah.
and I never had like problems with hanging out with people that drink.
yeah,
Never. Like it was never like, oh, but everybody are drinking and I'm not drinking. No.
yeah. I mean, I agree with you with what you said initially. It's all about good company, good friends. It doesn't matter if they drink or not.
And you see who real friends are.
Yeah, once you stop drinking, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you can still connect with them while they're drinking,
Yeah.
and you can hang out with them, then it means that, oh, there is an actual bond. But with some people, you will see that, oh, when you stop drinking and you still hang out with them and they drink and you don't, you see that maybe you don't have as much common goals or a good vibe, I would
But
say,
it's
right?
okay then. Then you see then you're
but
like
it's okay.
more selective. You're more selective.
yeah.
But it's okay.
It's okay.
You can hang out with everybody,
Yeah.
But you're like not so often maybe,
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
you like have a smaller group of friends maybe, but not because of this,
Yeah,
But in general, and you connect with them more.
yeah.
This is like,
Yeah, true. So I have one question for maybe some people that still want to drink, but they don't know how to deal with their hangovers, right? And what I found out, actually the first time that I found out about this was actually an advice by my dad. But then I was listening a lot to the band The Doors, and in a song Roadhouse Blues, we used to play this song also on the guitar. But I was not back then. I was not listening to the lyrics so much.
I
but,
was not aware of it.
but Jim Morrison in Roadhouse Blues, he was like, well, I woke up this morning and I got myself a beer. And actually, when you have a beer when you're hungover, and then maybe 3, 4, 5. You realize that the hangover is completely gone.
You just prolong.
You prolong it. Yeah.
I was like joking out that you like activate the alcohol in your body again.
Again, yeah.
You just like activate it.
It's like that. So I mean, do you have any experience with that? Just like drinking first thing in the morning, having a beer first thing in the morning after you actually like had a night out like this?
Usually I didn't drink, but only if I'm like on a drinking vacations,
Okay.
When we went like with civil engineers, and we're like you go drinking all week.
Yeah.
Then you have to start drinking at the morning, because otherwise you're like fucked. The alcohol keeps you going.
Yeah.
Because, for example, I was like in Montenegro, and there was like third or fourth day, and it was like a morning ritual. We went to the restaurant, we ordered like čapčići, and it's like Balkan meat, and 1 beer and coffee. This was like morning ritual, and one of our friends, he said, no, I will not drink. I will just go and lay down for I will do like a power nap for like 1 hour. And I said to him, man, look, that power nap will not help you. You have to if you do, a power nap for like 2 weeks, This will help you, but not the power nap for like 1 or 2 hours because we are already too fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
And the only thing that can save is like drinking. And he was like, no, I'll go to sleep. Okay. And he went to sleep, you know, and we were like, this was like 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And we went like drinking games and like drinking wine.
Yeah.
But we were like, in the morning, we were like, all
fucked
fucked up.
Yeah.
You know? It was like going there, eat something. Then we went to the room. It was like, the wine.
The wine.
First sip, second sip, third sip, and after 2 hours,
It's like
after 2 hours, like this is like I imagine it so vividly, you know.
Yeah.
He came to our room. He was like a zombie walking, but he was like sleeping before, you know.
Yeah.
He was like a zombie. He looked at us and we were like during the table, no, this one, no. We were like, you all euphoric, drunk, and he was like, and I was like, I told you, man.
I told you.
He was like fucked up, you know. And then he like come and like take a sip, 2, 3.
And he became like that.
Yeah.
So,
And you cannot stop.
yeah.
You cannot stop if you're like on vacations like this. You cannot stop. But after 4 or 5 days, the alcohol like takes a toll on you, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I remember like some vacations you like have really big nightmares. You're like ill. You're like, it's not good, man. You know, but and it takes a lot of time to recover. So on these vacations, it's like the only thing. There is no other way, you know.
There's no other way.
There's like no other way.
Yeah.
You have to like drink all day.
Yeah.
And you have to like be drunk like 4 or 5 times a day. You know, you're just like drinking all day.
Yeah.
And this keeps you up, you know. But otherwise, if like after the morning, I don't know, maybe instead of the coffee, I will like drink a beer, like after like a party. Then we go like the next day we go grab a coffee.
Yeah.
And maybe then I like drink a beer. But it was like never like intentionally to like cure the hangover. It was like never intentionally for me, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except like this.
That
weeks.
was intentional.
This was like really, really intentional.
Yeah.
Because there was no other way.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
What about you?
I mean, I think before, like in the early days, let's say, was similar like you, and I think a lot of times maybe we did it together also.
If we like drink a beer after this day, it was like non-intentionally, you know, just the beer can go. It was like, let's go grab a coffee, but okay, let's drink a beer.
Yeah,
you know, it was like this.
At that time, I was not even drinking like coffee, so every time someone said, "Oh, let's grab a coffee," it was always beer. Yeah. But no, then I think. The first time I did it intentionally, it was probably when I was living in UK. I was like 21 and I was like super hungover, but that was maybe like 2 or 3 times. But then when I was like maybe 24, 25, also a couple of times, but then like when I was living in Amsterdam, it became like
Amsterdam was like a
weekend ritual. Yeah,
Amsterdam was like
sometimes even like, because we had a lot of like company parties on Thursdays, and I don't know why, not on Friday, but always on Thursdays. So like on Friday, I had also sometimes a couple of beers just before going to work. just to be able to get my ass off to shower and to function, to bike in Amsterdam to the work, but then during the weekend was if I look back, it was like I was like very depressed and lonely, and it was like my coping mechanism, and
you just prolonged like the you just wanted like to that feeling like of loneliness and everything to just go away, just to numb yourself for a little bit. I now remember like I did this a few times, like when I was like in university. And I was like drinking till like 5-6 a.m. And then I have like a class at 7 a.m. And like I like pour in like a normal bottle like of Coca-Cola. I pour like a whiskey inside.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I have it like on my table. you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was like, okay, it wasn't good because I was like then too loud at the class. I was like always putting my hands up, and I was like asking questions. Everything was like, I remember now Amsterdam.
What?
Free walking tour.
Free walking tour, yeah. Yeah. So, you know, these are the free walking tours are very popular in Europe, in the main cities, I would say. It's amazing, right? You just pay at the end as much as you want to, and you see the city for like 3 hours. But of course, when we were visiting Amsterdam, we got first fucked up the night before. And then in the morning, on the way from Rotterdam...
We took a train.
Yeah, from Rotterdam to Amsterdam.
Yes.
And we already drank, I think together we drank 5 liters.
5 liters. Like we took,
So each of us 2 liters and a half, while we were already on low sleep and hungover from the night before. So that's like 5 large beers.
Beers, yes.
Yeah. And then when we came there, we bought like a whiskey and we put it in the Coke like bottle.
Yes.
So, I mean, long story short, you were too loud.
We were too like...
you were asking a lot of questions.
Yeah, I was asking too much questions because he was like giving so much. He was like telling the stories and with the rhetorical questions.
Yeah.
You know, when was this? And I was like, yeah, this was blah, 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 blah. He was like, shh, stop talking. He was like having like a performance. You know?
He was, yeah.
And then after a bit, like, he was like,
guys, can you please like just leave?
Yeah. I was like so.
Yeah, but you know also what? Because when we finished the whiskey, you were basically buying more beers, but then it was visible that you actually had a beer in your hand. So he understood what was happening.
But I don't think this was like the only sign.
I mean, there were also signs of how we were behaving. Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny.
It's funny, yeah. So, what would happen right now if we would actually have a beer? Of course, alcoholic beer, not non-alcoholic beer.
I think the one answer is obvious. We will like get drunk as fuck after it.
Yeah.
Because they were like the door will like open.
Yeah.
And we will like get drunk as fuck. This is like the answer, but I think like if you like wanna ask me what will like happen next, I think there will like be maybe a period, maybe like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or like 1 month maximum. I think when we like be drinking, and after that, I think we will come like to the same conclusion. So I'm like not afraid. I will not just like. Want to try it or something like this, but I think we will come like to the same conclusion. We will do like a smaller cycle and then we'll like stop again. But maybe we will take like 1 or 2 or 3 days like
just go nuts
enjoying the drink.
I mean enjoying
it's because it's like
but you know, one thing that I can't argue with people is because I feel that way as well. You know, you can argue with people, and all of these reasons in the book, The Easy Way to Stop Drinking Alcohol or to Control Your Alcohol Intake by Alenkar. He basically solves all of your reasons for drinking, right? But the only reason that he doesn't solve, in my opinion, and also of opinion of others that read that book that I discussed with, is that sometimes you just enjoy getting completely fucked up, that you don't know what you're doing, you have no awareness. So like, it's not even like the social thing or the stress thing.
No, it's just like to get away from yourself, get away from everything, you know?
Yeah. So
because sometimes it's like, it's hard. Everything is hard.
Yeah.
You just need to like,
and
live.
And I mean, sometimes, and some people will say, oh yeah, I mean, if you can get like super present and you meditate, you can get to that state. And I mean, it's true, but it's still not the same state, because it's also different when you're like just like super drunk and you're like talking shit. Like this is a bit sometimes also enjoyable, but
maybe from the wrong reasons.
It's very wrong reasons.
Because like the base, something is not.
It's not okay. Yeah.
Something is not okay with yourself.
Yeah, something is
because
not okay,
I think if you like work on yourself and you're like you don't need like to drink. I
Yeah.
think because before you are like in a euphoric state or like in the depressed state.
Yeah.
This is, I think, how most people and also we were living.
Yeah.
Now I think it's like more, there are bumps, of course. There are like days when you're up and down, but it's like more like this.
More stable.
More stable.
Yeah.
And this is like more peace comes with it, more peace, you know.
Yeah.
And that's okay because we don't have like cravings anymore with this. And I think the best part of like drinking is like the craving, you know.
True.
Like
The first sip.
not but it's like, and all the events that lead up to the event, you know, all the days that lead up to the party.
Because you're
like
excited about it.
Yeah, this will be the best party, blah blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
yeah,
This
yeah.
DJ, la la, let's go.
True.
You're like, oh, I can't wait. And then it's like right before, like we buy the drinks and everything's like, oh, let's go. And then you start drinking and okay.
Yeah, I start drinking,
It's-
boom, you wake
okay.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like before.
Yeah.
It's with everything. It's like this. Also, if you like eat pizza or something, or
True,
like,
yeah.
it's like the anticipation is like
It's better.
it like makes you think it will be better,
Yeah.
but when the actual event is happening, it's okay.
Yeah, actually, maybe like with all things like, alcohol, food, drugs,
Vacations.
vacations,
Yeah.
everything that makes you escape yourself, it's most likely,
You think it will be
better.
like the better effect, but it's
Yeah,
like
it's
also the cold
anticipation
shower,
that,
for example.
um,
It's really hard to like put the cold shower on yourself, but when
Yeah.
you put it, it's not so bad, you know.
yeah, I mean, it works the same with the hard things. Also, like, cold shower, working out,
Training,
the
yes.
anticipation of it, it's like, oh, fuck, I need to fucking squat 100 kilos right now. But when you're actually doing it and after you do it, you're like, I mean, yeah, it's okay. You know,
And
what I
this is
mean?
also comes with like, before we were like, I don't know if it's like linked with this, but it clicked that it is. For example, at the beginning when we were like talking, for how long will you be sober? Now, for how long? And if you're like, for all of your life, it seems like, fuck, such a big, it's too big.
Yeah.
You know? But when you're like, just for now, it's like a small,
Yeah.
you know? So also like this anticipation or something, like if it's connected, you know,
Yeah.
it's more digestible, you know?
Yeah.
So, and also with these things, you know, if you like say, it's like similar, you know, if you take like, with training, for example, if you say like, oh, we have to do like 1 hour of like this,
Yeah.
it's too big. But if you say like, put it on parts.
Yeah, let's just
you
do
can
one
do it.
set more. Oh, let's
Yeah.
do one set more. Oh, let's
Yeah.
do one set more. Yeah, it's the same with drinking. But I guess it depends. It depends in which stage you are, right? Because maybe, when you stop drinking, it's good to have that. But then now we
But
can
I don't
easily
need
say,
this. Yeah, I can
now,
easily say,
but
yeah.
now it's easier. Or, for example, when you start working out, at the beginning, maybe you need to say to yourself, "Oh, just one set more."
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now I can easily say, "Oh yeah,
Now
tomorrow."
you have said, now you need to say, let's just
chill. Let's just stop.
Let
Yeah,
them finish now.
yeah. Okay, it's been enough. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. So I guess it's with everything like this. Yeah, it's how we create the perception in our mind. Yeah. Okay, so do you have any regrets when it comes to all these years of drinking, partying, doing stupid shit, and whatever?
Okay, it's like hard to talk about like regrets, because I believe that all these things like led us to where we are now.
Yeah.
So without these experiences, we will not be here. But if I could go back, you know. Yeah, but it's like, it's hard, you know. It's hard to say, because all this pain, all this experience, every one of them led us to like where we are now.
Yeah.
And we like speak in this sense, I don't like regret anything. But if I would like could change anything that would like have the same results, if this would like, this click will happen this switch will happen earlier, it will be even better. If it happened early, it will be even better, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think like there will be like more of like, I'll have like even more social skills, more events, more like parties to see. Because they were like, we were partying a lot. It was like periods of like 3-4 times a week, you know? I was like the biggest party animal in my class, for example. No?
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you remember from all of this, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's like if I would like, for one thing, if this will start earlier, like this sober thing,
Yeah.
I will get like more in touch with myself earlier, and I will like start building myself up earlier.
Yeah.
But it's also okay now. We are like fucking young, you know. It's like
Yeah.
we're 29 years old, you know. Some people like having this conversation where they're like 60, 70, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like in this. So I say I don't have like any regrets. I know I did a lot of stupid shit, but I'm here now where I like want to be. If I will like this will start earlier, it will be okay with me.
Yeah.
Because I will come in touch with myself earlier. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree with what you said. Because, like, from an objective point of view, I feel like, yeah, objectively, all the times, all the stupid things I've done to everyone else, like being a dickhead to my family, to my friends, including you, lying to people, you know, hiding, drinking in secret, and hurting myself as well. Like, this is all objectively, like, you could objectively regret this. But then I fully agree with you regarding having no regrets. And actually, funny enough, Andrew Tate, yeah, the most hated man alive. In one of his interviews, he said that he doesn't even entertain with the thought of regret. And it's true, because if you look at it from that way, like, we wouldn't be at the position we are right now. For example, just right now, we're talking about.
Yeah,
like,
I don't have this.
alcohol.
I don't have like this regret for anything.
But
no.
I actually, when I stopped drinking, and that was like maybe the first 6 months, I had a lot of regrets. I was saying to myself, why the fuck didn't I stop before? But after a while, it all came to like a realization that, oh, it was all meant to be, as cheesy as it sounds.
I also believe this.
Yeah, like, if I know myself, I need to experience a lot of emotional pain to do a massive change in my life.
Yeah,
so
this is like the
if I wouldn't have,
realization.
if I wouldn't have so many emotionally traumatizing events when it comes to drinking alcohol, I would never stop drinking. I would still be trying to control drinking and.
Yeah, this
failing.
is like also like, I don't know, it's like the law or something of I don't know who, but if like the pain is not big enough, the worst is like when you are like in a situation that is like not good, but also not bad. Yeah, it's like somewhere in the middle. Yeah, for example, when we're talking about the job or everything, you know, relationship and everything, but it's better that you're like in the worst. Yeah. In the worst scenario, because then you will like take change. Yeah. But you were like somewhere in the middle. It's not bad. It's not good. Yeah. You like keep doing this stuff, you know. Yeah. Okay, it's not good, but it's not bad. Yeah. But when you're like, and we think like we develop this, you could say skill or just like to intentionally putting ourselves like in a worst scenario to have like this click and then like make change. I mean, this is exactly what Tony Robbins was basically saying, that in order to change, the pain of change needs to be less than the pain of staying the same. So that's why we were like doing some stuff that we know is like wrong. And we like started doing in excess, you know.
But maybe back then it was not as intentional.
No, it was not. Yes.
Okay, so we came to the end of the podcast. Rok, thank you so much for being here. I mean, thank you so much for being in my life. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you also.
Of being a best friend to you. So I'm sure a lifetime to come.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben, for having me. And yeah, maybe see you soon
See you soon. Bye bye.
in Ether.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ciao.